mine și de Nico în această seară, Nico de la Morning Fame. Nico e un tip absolut fenomenal. Eu sunt un tip la fel de fenomenal, dar în alt fel decât e Nico, desigur. Toți suntem speciali în felul nostru. Eu sunt Eugen Popa de la Succes pe YouTube și Nico este Big Boss number one, este creatorul acestui tool absolut fantastic pe care îl folosesc de multă vreme și de care sunt foarte încântat, și anume Morning Fame. Nico, thank you so much for being with us here tonight.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely, very exciting for us here in Romania, and I just want to tell people, Nico e în Statele Unite, în Seattle, e ora 11 la el, la noi este ora 9 seara, la el 11 dimineața, e cu 10 ore în urmă, și trag de Nico de vreo jumătate de an, să zicem așa, să îl prind să facem acest live pe care îl facem acum, să facem acest interviu, și sunt super încântat că și-a făcut timp și că am reușit, pentru că Nico este un geek, este tipul ăla care stă și butonează toată ziua și e foarte prins cu ceea ce face, dar acum am reușit să-l prindem. Acest interviu, acest live va fi în limba engleză și dacă ai întrebări poți să le scrii în română, eu am să le traduc lui în engleză, sau dacă vrei să le scrii în engleză e ok, dar nu te chinui dacă nu stăpânești foarte bine engleza, scrie în română și caută să pui întrebările cât mai la obiect. So Nico, thank you again for joining us today for this live stream. Let me ask you a few things first. Where did you get the idea to create Morning Fame, and why is it Morning Fame?
Good question. Good question. It was really a weird way how I slipped into this whole idea of creating that tool. Morning Fame is the idea, obviously, you wake up in the morning, right? And you're suddenly famous because your YouTube channel skyrocketed overnight. I'm awesome. Yet to see many cases of that, but I mean, it's the name.
Well, depends who you're talking to, right? Depends who your friends are.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love the idea behind it, because that is for many people that's super that's their dream, really. That's their dream, to wake up in the morning and be like the great, amazing, successful YouTuber who just went to bed with no followers, no likes, no subscribers, and suddenly in the morning he's like killing it on YouTube.
Exactly. I mean, there's a little bit more to it, obviously, than just having this luck moment, which probably many look ahead of, catching a trend, for example. So it can happen. But what I over the years peeled out, what really is important to me, to figure out growth strategies, way to grow a channel that especially work for small channels. And that's what I'm focusing on the tool, and all the studies that I do, and talking to small YouTubers in particular, to figure out what do you need to do in order to dependably grow your channel, not just luck, obviously. So if we are looking into these big spikes of trends, for example, there's always a portion of luck, but there's also structure to it, strategy to it. And with all my years of works, as I'm still way not done with that, of course, but over the years I developed or peeled out those strategies that also went into the tool, basically.
So are you now closer to crack the YouTube code?
I think it's kind of like the more answers you have, the more questions you will get. Currently, the status basically is, I mean, that goes not only for the Morning Fame tool, but the YouTube space as a whole. Basically, we have cracked the code for the YouTube search algorithm. We know many tools, and Morning Fame included, have a keyword research tool, which is a YouTube SEO tool for which you can optimize your videos and rank higher in search. This is pretty much well understood how it's done, and especially also how it's done for small channels, because we always have this big issue on YouTube that there are the big channels which have it much easier to rank in search, to get the promotion. So it's always a question of how can small channels find their angle to grow in this competitive space. But I mean, knowing that, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, knowing that we basically cracked YouTube search, we know how it's worked. Now the big question is, how is it about the other YouTube algorithms? I don't know if everyone is aware, YouTube has algorithms that decide which videos to show to viewers, right?
Yeah.
And there's not just one algorithm, there are many different ones.
Yeah.
And YouTube search is the algorithm for, the search results, showing the search results, deciding which videos to rank high and which not.
Yeah.
And then we have two major algorithms. One is the home algorithm, which is showing the videos that you see on the start page, on the home page of YouTube when you open up the app or the web page. And then this third algorithm is suggested videos, which is the videos next to one video you're currently watching. So the recommendations, what to watch next. And these two algorithms, home and suggested videos, in the past month, I learned so much about them so that I'm closer to understanding how we can, understand this algorithm, get more promotion out of it for our own videos, even for small channels. But this is kind of a new area that is not fully cracked yet, not even by the biggest experts. There are some, obviously, but it's not well known how to crack those algorithms. So there's always a new frontier to figure out new growth strategies and so on.
So how many algorithms are there with YouTube?
Basically, we can say 6 of them. Should I walk you through all 6 of them?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. I think because most people don't actually know. They think YouTube is just YouTube and that's that. They don't understand it. They don't differentiate that actually it's a sum of algorithm, is accumulation of algorithms that work together, and if you make a video, maybe one algorithm will be started, will be kicked into action, and the others won't, and vice versa. So
exactly.
I think it's very important for people to understand and make this differentiation, because that, I think, will help creators understand that, if I make a video, maybe this video will go for this kind of algorithm, but not for the other.
Exactly. They behave very differently. And as a matter of fact, I'm currently planning a video for my channel where I go through all algorithms and was thinking about one single sentence for each algorithm that helps you to get more promotion out of it. So
that is awesome.
Let's do a little test run based on what I have planned for my own video so far.
Yeah, for sure.
And
so what are the 6 algorithms that YouTube is using when you are posting a video?
Exactly. The best way to probably show it is I developed an algorithm tab, an analytics page with Morning Fame.
Yes, I love Morning Fame.
Awesome.
I have to tell you, every single video I put up, I don't actually write my description for my videos in YouTube. I actually write them out in Morning Fame. Because it's much easier and much nicer layout. And also I write the titles. I do title research in Morning Fame before I actually go out with a video.
Perfect. That is the way to go. And that leads us right away into the first algorithm. So what you just mentioned is the keyword tool I mentioned earlier as well. So this algorithm tab that you see here is a overview of all the different algorithms and how much traffic you get from those algorithms. And imagine that even the tiniest channels already get a few views from all the different algorithms. So it's very interesting to see when I developed this tab that even for the small channels, the algorithms work in your favor. Of course, they work much better for the bigger channels, but they are fine-tuned to also work for small channels. And the first algorithm is what we already mentioned, like you use Morning Fame primarily for, is optimizing your videos, your titles. So the YouTube search algorithm, right?
Yeah.
So basically that is cracked. We use keyword research, or in other words, SEO, search engine optimization, to optimize our metadata, title, description, and tags in order to rank our videos. And that in turn gives us the views from that algorithm. That is algorithm number 1. Then we have a Google search algorithm. Yeah, that's not part of YouTube, obviously, but also a search engine where our videos can rank. I give you the one sentence that says how to get more views out of each algorithms afterwards. We went through the whole list, okay?
Give us give us the secrets.
I will, exactly. Suggested videos algorithms, I mentioned it before. This is the recommended videos next to a video that a viewer is currently watching. That is that. And then the home algorithm, that is also the third most important algorithm, the homepage, where recommended videos show up there as well right away. And then I included link content, which is not really an algorithm from YouTube, but you can, do your own algorithms, so to say. You use cards, end screens, pinned comments, all that to recommend your viewers what to watch next. And this is, in a sense, you as a creator acting like an algorithm to get more views from your audience. Yeah, so that's the reason why it's in there, but it's not really an algorithm. But the next algorithm is the notifications. Yeah, that's usually your subscribers who get notified about your new videos. This is one algorithm, but it also can notify non-subscribers as well. As you see here in this graph, I have 83% of my notifications going out in the last 28 days are for my subscribers, but 70% are non-subscribers even. So we even get a little bit of promotion out of the notifications algorithm, the push notifications on the mobile phone, or we have email notifications as well for some who activated those. So we can get new audiences via notifications as well. Then the fifth algorithm, I'm not counting Google search, by the way, as an algorithm from YouTube. So that's why we are at number 5, is the subscription tab. Yeah, we know that from the phone. This is a separate section, subscriptions feed. It's not too important nowadays anymore because most people most subscribers arrive via the home page. And there, of course, the home algorithm is working in our favor. So the subscription feed is not something that we really focus on in terms of growth strategies, growing our channels. It just, is a added bonus for us. And then finally, that's the 6th algorithm, is the trending tab. The trending page on YouTube. But here I have to say it's also not an important algorithm because although it can boost some videos quite a lot, that usually only happens, or I did a study of thousands of different channels, by the way. And in this case, I found no case where a channel got a considerate amount of views from the trending algorithm. Although we all think about, we want to get into the trending tab with our videos. It only happens for the big channels. And then the big channels drive so many views that the trending tab only delivers like a fraction of a % of the total channel traffic. So even if you get into the trending tab, you have such a big channel that you don't care about the trending traffic anymore. So let me debunk this hope for many right away. Don't worry about the trending tab. I included it for completeness here, of course, but it's not something that you want to get into because it never plays a big role in any channel of any size.
So we should forget about trending, basically. It's like, who wants trending?
Exactly.
Nobody wants to trend.
It really is the case. Of course, it's an added bonus for large channels, but it's never something that grows channels. So as I said, trending, subscriptions is unimportant. Notifications sometimes is important, but the strategies that we apply for the home algorithms also work for the notifications and subscriptions at the same time. So basically, when we think from the strategy point, subscriptions and notifications are nothing we really worry about. We only worry about home, suggested videos, and YouTube search. These.
So in your opinion, what is most important? Is it suggested search or search?
It is a combination. So you have to look at the size of the channel at this point. So usually what happens is I studied it again on thousands of different channels to see how the difference between small size, medium size, large size channels is. And usually it's like this. YouTube search is the first algorithm that small channels can get views from. Then next, it is the home algorithm. And then finally, it's the suggested videos algorithm. So I would recommend that you, as a small channel, for example, you start with YouTube search, optimize your videos for that. And then slowly we will gain an audience. Then home will work in your favor. And when you do everything right, then suggested videos will do work in your favor. So do it in that order, because YouTube search is the one that is the most dependable to get views from. It's pretty much in our hands to rank our videos. And this way we can dependably get views from it. But later on, we can get even more views from home and suggested videos. So the more your channel grows, the more you shift your focus, not only from on YouTube search, but add home and later suggested videos to the picture, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And I would say that that would be a good point to talk about the one sentences that you can use in order to trigger those.
Then I have some questions for you.
Okay, perfect. So YouTube search, it is optimizing your metadata, your titles, descriptions, and tags. Okay. Yeah, YouTube SEO. You can learn it everywhere. And this is the solution. Yeah, maybe one caveat here. As a small channel, you have to realize that as a small channel, you can't really rank for competitive search terms, because large channels rank there already and you have no chance to rank there. So as a small channel, you have to focus to optimize your videos for search terms that have low enough competition, so that you have a good chance to rank.
How do you, I mean, it's like for instance, somebody is coming up with a food channel. And there are a gazillion food channels out there. How do you make it on a market for such a topic?
Yeah,
when
good
there's
point.
So many already.
Very important. The trick here is to basically sidestep the competition. You can't beat the competition. Yeah. The big cooking channels will always be ahead of you.
Absolutely.
But the big channels don't do food about every topic. You know, they are also focusing on Asian cuisine, for example, or Romanian dishes, right? So what you can do is to focus on dishes that the big channels don't focus on. And usually those lesser known dishes, not straightforward, commonly, easily to think of dishes, are less competitive, which SEO tools like Morning Fame will show you that they have search terms for these lesser known dishes have lower competition. And this way you can get your foot in the door. Maybe one example in this case, oftentimes in food industry, like in many industries as well, you have famous people, right? And they invent dishes. Sometimes you have, for example, let's say, there's the famous television cooks that you know and love from regular televisions, doing dishes for those, inspired by those famous cooks, is usually very competitive. But you can go into niche topics like vegan cooking.
But like, for instance, if I'm a specialist in making cakes or a specialist in pasta, and I want to do pasta, but not only pasta, but let's say that this comes to my head right now. There are already channels out there who are already cooking pasta. How would I make it in such a tough competition like food channels for pasta?
You would go through all the different pasta types, for example, spaghetti, linguine, spirelli, you know.
Let's see your pasta knowledge.
I love pasta, lasagna, pasta, right? All that, you go through all the different variations and you just look how competitive is the space. And I bet if you go through all of them, some of them are much less competitive than others. So you just walk through all of them. Sometimes you will be surprised, but it's a matter of testing out, looking into a SEO tool, getting the competition. And usually you after some time, you find those topics that other bigger channels didn't cover yet because they can't cover everything, right? So you just have to find what they didn't cover.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. So if I'm just a very small channel, and when I say small, I would say, let's say under 20K, under 20K subscribers. What would be the best way to go forward on a market that already has competition?
Generally, this is the same thing with sidestepping the competition. So besides YouTube SEO, where you really measure the competition, how high it is for a particular search term, so a term that a viewer types into the search bar, this goes in general with video topics. So this applies to all the different algorithms, by the way, that you try to focus on video topics that are, of course, still in the interest of the common viewer. You shouldn't do something too weird, too unknown, because otherwise people, there are not really people yet who are interested in that. But you try to do your unique take on that. Yeah. For example, I mean, just to give you an example, there was you remember the fidget spinner trend back in 2018?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I bet it was huge in Romania too. Like
it was huge everywhere.
Right? Everywhere. And I wondered, I mean, of course, the big channels always jump on those big trends and did video about it, crazy videos. But there was one small channel, I think it was a few thousand subscribers only. And while this trend was already going on for a month or two, he created a video about how to repair your fidget spinner.
Nice.
I mean, it's clear, yeah. Everyone wants to know about the fidget spinners. They have fidget spinners, and since it's just a $1 article, they break like always soon, right? So he is explaining in his video how to put in the ball joints into the fidget spinner again, so it's working again. And this was a huge spike for him because no one thought about, the viewers are interested in repairing their fidget spinners, and he was basically the only one doing a video about it. And this way he was able to attract these huge audiences in this case, because it was a big trend. So this is not only relevant for trends, by the way, it's relevant for all topics. Yeah. If you, for example, look into how to tie a tie, you have the different knots that you can tie here, right? So the common knots, Windsor knots, what do you have?
I have the fisherman's knot.
For example, it sounds like a legit one. I'm not wearing ties very often.
I don't know either. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah.
But the common knots, you have tutorials on that on YouTube, certainly. But maybe there are lesser known knots that you want to tie as well, right? So you do videos on that. So it's in general, you think about what are the lesser spoken about topics, video topics that are in the realm of something that people are already watching on YouTube, but you know, there's not many videos on that yet. So this general thinking gets you there. And you just basically look at all the big channels in your niche, find out what they are covering, and maybe you can put your own spin on it, you know, like I just explained in the examples.
Awesome. So we had a question. Let me just find it here. We had a question from Christy Kerekesh, who says, how can you create a better connection with your audience when your channel is based on tutorials? People is more interested in solving their issue, their problem, watching the tutorial, and less interested in the person behind the videos. So how can you, who is creating a tutorial, you have a tutorial channel, how can you be, you know, connect better with your audience?
A
what
very
would be your
good
suggestion
point.
to that?
Especially those tutorial channels. I'm in this position too. You know it well as well, right? Is that people just look for the answer, and once they have it, they are not interested in the channel anymore. The trick here is to make people binge watch more. Yeah. So usually the advice would be ask them to subscribe. But if they just watch one video and you ask them to subscribe, and maybe they, okay, why not? I subscribe. Oftentimes, even though they are subscribed, they are still not coming back to your channel to watch your new videos because they didn't basically interact with you that much yet. They just watched one video and that's it. Yeah. So you can't really build this personal connection with just one video. What you need to do is to make people binge watch more videos afterwards. And by the way, this is also the reason why I included the link content part here in this algorithm tab, because this is a whole strategy behind it. When we are looking in the report, for example, here, my best link where I have a video on click-through rate. This is a good example of a video where people want to know which click-through rate is good. Yeah, other creators.
Yeah.
And so many of them watch it. But what I do is in the end screen, for example, I recommend, now that you know which click-through rate is good or not, and you might find out that your click-through rate is not the best one and you want to increase it, right? Watch this video next, because there I explain how to improve your thumbnails, which are the biggest reason why people click. So if you have better thumbnails, then you will get a higher click-through rate. And there is a natural reason why they, after watching this video, a natural reason why they should watch this next. So I'm recommending them in the end screen of this video to watch it. And as you see, 117 views came from this particular video to this video because of my
I was going to ask you, so can I use Morning Fame and find like top videos which are like the top videos in terms of how many people went from this video to the next?
Yes, that is exactly this report here. So
okay, and is that with end screens, or can you like sort them out? Like how many, like if I have top 10 videos on people who went from this video to next because they clicked on the end screen or because they clicked on a card, can you make that differentiation, or it's just like, you know, we went from this to this because somewhere in the card or in the end description I told them to do so?
Exactly. This in this case is a combination of all the ways you can link up videos. So cards, end screens, as well as playlists. This is the overall picture, how you made it work. And of course, you can use YouTube Studio to look into more detail. When you have this top successful video, you can look it up in more detail. So the information is there if you want to access it. Here I give an overview of what works the best. So here are my top links. So here, this is a video about relevance, and I recommended this one next because this gives a bigger picture of the whole YouTube SEO aspect, right? So basically, you have your own links. Is the image gone now? Oh, sorry.
No, I can see. Oh, mine. Yeah, one second.
Yeah. So you basically observe whether your links worked well. And then, of course, and that's the interesting part. No, I'm going on a tangent. Let's circle back to the question that you had. So you're making sure, in order to build a better connection for tutorials with your audience that you get, you make them watch more videos. Those videos that make sense. Ideally, you would even create series where you upfront decide in which orders the episodes go, with a natural progression that you know from Netflix or something like that, right? That there is always a reason why you should watch the next episode. And the effect that happens there, if you make it right, that people watch, for example, 3 videos in a row, and then on the 3rd video, they realize, wow, this is a great channel. Let me subscribe for more tutorials. Yeah. And because they binge watched, by the way, this is more valuable than even a subscription, because even if those people don't subscribe after watching 3 videos of yours, when they come back the next day, the home algorithm will recommend more videos to those viewers. So then on the next day, they might watch a 4th tutorial. And if you link them to other videos again in this 4th tutorial, they might watch a 5th, a 6th. And this way they get basically sucked into your channel more and more, are likely to subscribe. And this way you establish this connection, even though you're kind of a more anonymous tutorial video tutorial channel, where usually people just come for their question and leave with the answer.
I understand. So I'm just trying to look at the same screen as you. Where do I find this comparison? Where do I find this like how many videos? Where do I find this the sharing, sending people from end screen to the next video?
This is, let me show you for everyone. I have your report open as well. Can I show it for this channel?
Share my data.
All right. Here, this is the algorithm tab. Which is, by the way, still in early access here. So people have to join the early access program in order to see this tab, but soon I will release it to everyone. Anyway, just one caveat. So you go down here and you do, wow, your suggested videos traffic is really good, by the way. So you have the link content here, and then top linking channels. So you have your own links from one video to the next. Here, for example, the top one is a good example where you have a playlist that contains one of your videos. And this way, this video got more views. But also you get, for example, YouTube's special playlist, special channel mix is giving you views, which is really working well for you. By the way, really good sign.
I don't know what that special channel mix is, to be honest. It's the first time I see that.
It's a super new feature. It only exists for 2 months now or something like that.
Okay.
It is part of the suggested videos. It's a special channel mix with a purpose of, if you have a new visitor to your channel, then you oftentimes see the special channel mix in the suggested videos. And this is kind of with the purpose of those new videos catching up with your past videos on your channel. So basically, they have the ability to watch your best videos from the past to basically be in the loop of what you are offering on your channel. And this special channel mix is different for every viewer. So it's custom tailored to every viewer. It's a little bit similar like the end screen card that you have, best for viewer. You know this one, right?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And in this case, it's a whole playlist. But you also get, for example, just random users who add your video to a playlist of their own to be able to find your video quickly again, which is really a good sign that they bookmark your video basically. So, but anyway, the most important part is, of course, here where you do your own links and you can see which video, which playlist sends videos to your next. In your case,
I tend to put all the videos in playlists. So
perfect.
That's a good I increase the view time.
Exactly. So this way you can also link not just one video, but the whole playlist at the end, in the end screen of your videos. So people watch this. This is even a better way to make people watch the whole more videos on your channel.
Yeah, I basically, what I do is I put videos in playlists. Then I take the video link from the playlist, and I take that video, the longer link, and then I use a link shortener, and then I tell people, hey, click here to watch this other video. And when I do that, then they hold on a second. My video is not working. Is it?
It's at least stuck for me. Yeah.
Hold on a second. It's connecting now. So anyway, I take the long link of the video from within the playlist, and then that link I shorten it and I put it in the description and in the end card. So I don't actually send people to a video, but I send people to a video within a playlist.
Perfect. Yeah, that's even better. Because then, obviously, if they it makes the same sense to link the video within a playlist than a single playlist. There's a reason why people should watch a particular video next, right? But then they are in this playlist, and the playlist auto plays with the next episode next.
Yeah. So I want to ask you about this feature with, video number 1 sends X amount of views and video number 2 receives X amount of views. What is the difference? Why is it sent and received? It's like sent 458, received 61. What's that?
Yeah, good question. It's just that this playlist sent you 458 views in this time span, that the last 28 days. 458 views in total, but not only to this video. You can click show more here. Let's see the other videos.
All the videos together from that playlist sent 458 views to different videos.
Exactly. The whole playlist sent that many views to those videos in the playlist. These are part of the playlist.
So if we look at the list, the drop-down list that you're looking at, if we put together all of the numbers, that should be 458.
Exactly.
Understood.
Minus some change. There are small amounts of views that get lost in all that, but roughly, yes.
Awesome.
So overall, you see like this happening in general, that you have the playlist, and I think let's see if you have here single videos, for example. Here we have a link between 2 videos directly. And here this adds up 30 and 30. So this video sent 30 viewers to this video.
I understand.
For example.
Awesome. Let me see another question. We've got another question from Ionuț Meps SEO. He's like the biggest YouTube in Romania, the biggest guy with YouTube videos for education in Romania. And he's also an avid user of Morning Fame. So his question is, in your opinion, a utilitarian channel can also be promoted by YouTube like an entertainment channels do? Or should we focus only on search and SEO?
Utilities channels is a good idea to keep focusing on YouTube SEO. Indeed, I once did a study and saw that even if utility channels grow very large, let's talk about 100K subscribers and more, they still have roughly 50% of all their traffic coming from YouTube SEO, because they are well designed for that. Entertainment channels are not so well designed for YouTube SEO. So although they can still benefit from YouTube SEO, even if they are at 1 million subscribers and so on, oftentimes they decide to not focus on that anymore and only focus on home and suggested videos. I don't recommend that for utility channels, because you have so much opportunity there that you don't want to decide to drop this traffic source at all. But also utility channels can get easily promoted by the home algorithm and the suggested videos algorithm. So YouTube search, home and suggested videos algorithm makes up 75% of all the views that small to large channels get on their channels. Yeah, just to give you an idea.
Yeah. Wow.
Only that utility channels are leaning more towards YouTube search, and entertainment channels are leaning more towards home and suggested. But any channel benefits from all three algorithms. And so it's a good idea to apply growth strategies for all three algorithms. But utility channels, certainly YouTube SEO is a important piece of the puzzle all the time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We have another question from Cornelia. She says, how often should you post as a small channel, as a newcomer, a new beginner, a beginning channel?
A good question. I think there are several aspects to it in order to answer that question. When you are a new channel, and then it's oftentimes about figuring out how to create great videos that are, ready for a large audience. Yeah, big channels, they have a video quality, entertainment factor, enjoyment factor that is already well polished. And as a small channel, it's just like this. We are not there yet. And I'm still trying to improve my videos every now and then, fundamentally to get to the next level again and again. Even though, I wouldn't consider being a very small channel anymore. So the upload schedule should match your ability to improve your videos, to figure out, to practice creating videos. That is the most important part in the beginning. So I wouldn't worry about the algorithm too much anymore. But there's the other aspect to it. Of course, the big questions, what do the algorithms expect you to do, right? I mean, we heard 1 or 2 years back, there was this huge wave of advice on YouTube that we should go daily, right?
Yeah.
Because the algorithm wants to have fresh content every day. And if you provide that, then your channel can grow much faster. This is not the case anymore. Yeah, the algorithms have changed. The recommendation nowadays is to publish 2 or 3 videos per week. But I have to say, in this regard, I'm uploading because of time constraints. It was not my choice. I would like to upload at least once a week. This is the usual recommendation of the minimum that you should do on your channel to really have fresh content all the time. But I'm uploading only 1 video every 2 weeks, and it's working really well for me. I'm slowing down my growth speed this way. Obviously, if I would upload once a week, it would grow faster, obviously, but it's still working really well. So don't worry about uploading too rarely. The main point here is give yourself enough time to really put in a little bit more work so you can ensure that every video is a little bit better than the previous one. And with practice, this will naturally come. The more videos you create, the better the idea will become. What is important in your videos to focus on in order to really connect to your audience. And that is the most important you're really practicing creating good videos. But to really bring it home, we have these 3 algorithms, right? YouTube search, home, and suggested videos. These we want to focus on. The search algorithm does not care about the age of your video at all. So whenever you publish it, doesn't matter. Ideally, you would publish in a regular basis so that each video gets your subscribers to watch it in the beginning, because the subscribers are very important to, give your new video a push so that the algorithms see like, oh, there's an audience that enjoy the video, and your subscribers are the first audience that watch your video. So try to balance this so that your subscribers are interested in your videos. And if this happens, then the upload time, date, and so on doesn't matter anymore for YouTube search, because there only it matters if you answered a question that many people ask in a proper way so that they really get the good answer and your subscribers watch it. That's all that you need in terms of how often you publish, plus of course the YouTube SEO. Then the home algorithm, that home algorithm is primarily designed to promote your new videos. So there, the recommendation to publish at least once a week is coming from.
Bit, what is the home algorithm? What, when you say home, what does that actually mean for people who don't know what home is?
Exactly. Let me show you.
Yes, please.
So, all right, here we go. Here, this is the home screen. So you just go on youtube.com and you're on home, or on mobile, you have this home as well. And this algorithm decides which videos to show here, right? So I watched
You're
OBS
watching very
tutorials.
Interesting channels.
Indeed. Scott, right? For example. And I listen to music, for example, right? And cute animals certainly as well. So this is based on your watch history, what you watched in the past. And the same thing we earlier discussed about, when you are an utility channel and it's hard to connect to your audience, this question we had before, right? Yes. When people have watched 2, 3, 4 videos in the last week on your channel, then in this last week, this is kind of 1 week is an important time span here for the home algorithm. Then this home algorithm will show more videos from this channel when the next time you open up the home screen. And primarily is also roughly the 2nd week after you watched something from the channel. There it won't promote so much videos from the past anymore, but will still promote your newly uploaded videos. So if you publish once a week, then always there will be a new video that you have published for viewers to see on the home screen because they watched other videos on your channel in the last 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah, actually, a fun point here. I went to a party over the weekend, and they wanted to play some music from YouTube, and broadcast it to a stereo via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, whatever. And someone there who was trying to do that from his own phone had bad network connection. So they asked me, why don't you play some music from your phone to the system? I said, no, I don't want to play that music, because then my home screen is going to be filled with that kind of music, which is not bad music, but it's not my kind of music. So I said, no, I don't want to do that, because I'm going to get those kind of, tracks and those kind of channels and that kind of music. I'm going to get it suggested to my channel, and I don't want that. I have other interests. So I said, no, I won't do it.
Yeah, indeed. If I do what you just saw on my home screen, this is like crazy. I analyze other channels and so on. So when I analyze some channel I didn't know before, then I watch many videos, even if they didn't recommend more videos to them, because I wanted to. and this fills up the home screen all the time as well.
We have another question here about tags. How relevant are tags?
Tags are not so important anymore. You have to see, you know, the old thinking is if you add the right tags to your video, then your video will rank high in search, right? There is a little bit truth to this still, but it's not the full picture. If you want to rank your videos in search, if you want to rank your videos in search, then you have to look at the whole YouTube SEO process. And that includes your title, the right description, and the right tags. But your metadata is only one part of the whole YouTube SEO process. Yeah. So what is most important there is that you target a search term with low enough competition that we discussed earlier in the stream already. And that combined, low competition search term plus optimized metadata for that search term makes your video rank high. And tags are part of it, but not the only thing. It's just one piece of the puzzle, so to say.
All right, awesome. So, I mean, because I was looking at Morning Fame, and on when you do keyword research with Morning Fame and you put a title, the description, and the tag section, tags are showing like 40% of the overall number comes from tags. So are we going to update that part?
Yeah, I don't plan to update that. It's it's kind of, maybe they're less important than 40% of that. That's true. But if you you really want to make use of those tags, then think about one strategy. This is, so to say, one up of the standard YouTube SEO, is to put some of these search terms that you already put into the tags, you put them into the description as well. I can show you this a little bit. Let me quickly open this up.
And still on the tags question, we have a question from Trapper Crapper who says, is it recommended to put tags in the description or in the title of the video? Which is exactly what I just said, basically.
Yes, only that I wouldn't call them tags anymore. I would call them search terms, or oftentimes named keywords. Exactly. So what you do is it's all about these terms that viewers type into the search bar. That's the critical thing, because the YouTube search algorithm thinks in search terms. All it knows are what viewers type into the search bar. And that is what we use in SEO. So for example, I have here, this is the optimize tab where you finalize your title, description, and tags for your planned videos in the Morning Fame keyword research tool. So I decided to optimize my video about the search term video description YouTube. This is what viewers would type into the search bar, and then hopefully find my video ranking there, click it and watch it, right? So what you do is, this search term, I include it into the title here, and you see it in yellow highlights. So this is basically what your viewer just asked. It's basically a tag that you have in the title. Only that I wouldn't call it tags, but search term. And the same thing is in the description. Video description YouTube is here again highlighted. I put it into the description so that search term appears there as well. I'm signaling the YouTube search algorithm I want to rank for YouTube video description YouTube, right? And then finally we have tags here. So video description YouTube again, and related things, everything that describes your video topic well. So video description box on YouTube, YouTube SEO, of course, because optimizing your video description is part of the SEO process, the keyword research process. How to write description for YouTube video, for example. That's also a search term that people would enter, and hopefully my video ranks for it then. And then the one-up strategy is to use those search terms that I already collected here. Yeah, these are all search terms that viewers type into the search bar. Use them, part of them, in the description as well. And that's a special feature here. I click this box, and now you see in pink underlines additional search terms that I, weaved into the description. Yeah, it's a human readable text still. Normal sentences and all that, but I phrased them strategically then. And this is how to write a video description with high relevance. Yeah, it tells the viewer something, but it also tells the machine, the YouTube search algorithm, I want to rank for how to write a video description. Yeah, so I'm taking these tags here. You see the pink underlines here as well. So I take those tags, the search terms that I collected, and put some of them into the description as well, making it overall a highly relevant metadata for this video topic, so to say.
So basically you have like the one keyword that is the title of your video, and then you use that in the description, then you use other similar or related keywords to to rank for those keywords, but which are very, very similar to the topic anyway. So that way you use SEO to promote your video as much as possible for those terms and similar terms related to the same topic.
Exactly. Yes. This is basically you're giving the YouTube search algorithm thinks in search terms. So everything that viewers type into the search bar. So you take those search terms and sprinkle them into your video metadata, title, description, tags. And this way, the YouTube search algorithm can understand, oh, this video is about this topic, about these range of search terms. Let me see whether it's worth ranking there. Of course, only signaling the YouTube search algorithm where you want to rank, where for you, which search terms, is not the whole story of actually making your video rank. You have to make sure that those search terms have low enough competition, because otherwise, if big channels rank there, you don't have a chance to rank your own video there. So you focus on search terms that have less competition, basically meaning that only smaller channels are ranking there. Usually channels that are not much bigger than your own channel. That's the rule.
We have a question from Top Chinch, and she says, if you change your thumbnail to a newly posted video, like you post the video today, you publish it today, and in like 4 days, 3 days, 5 days, whatever, you change the thumbnail, will this video be recommended again to the subscribers?
Not to the subscribers, although, of course, if a subscriber didn't watch the video when it came out and just browses YouTube, and those subscribers may then see your video later. Of course, that can always happen, but when you change out the thumbnail, you don't, it's not the same as uploading a new video. What happens there is if you change the thumbnail, hopefully it is a better thumbnail. You always have to make sure that, you can design a worse thumbnail all the time. By the way, the rule of thumb here is for a good thumbnail is one that makes people think like, oh, this is interesting. I
have to watch this.
Right? Yes, exactly. And if you replace your thumbnail with a better one, then of course the algorithms, different algorithms, home and suggested primarily, but also search, will show that video to more people. And since they are now more likely to click the video, the algorithms will measure that and see, like, if I show this video to people, they are more likely to click. This is in my interest because I want to show people good videos, people that people want to click. And this way, you get the chance to get more promotion out of the algorithms then. So it's always a good idea to try to improve your thumbnails.
Awesome. We have a question from Maps who says, I really love the new notification in the algorithm tab. What's next? If you can tell us, or at least let us know, when will there be a new update or the next update?
Yeah, thank you very much, by the way. Great seeing you here. This is the notifications are currently so far done. Yeah, so the idea, just for everyone else to see, it's kind of a unique take that I'm pretty stoked about. Is so to say, here, if you see that, we have so much data, yeah, about where viewers are coming from. We have the top search terms, which videos drive the most search traffic, right? We have the top channels that recommend our videos, yeah. All this information, what we showed before, this is way too much to look through it. So what I did with the notifications here is to, let the machine comb through all this information and point out the most interesting things. For example, recently, my video about explaining what dislikes do on videos got a spike here, was getting much more search traffic. And this is something that you usually don't spot automatically. So what I do here is to point that out. I have different notifications here. I marked them as red already, but here you can see here a new search term is driving traffic for me. A new video is a new channel is recommending my videos, via the suggested videos. A search term, new recommending channel, TubeBuddy here, for example, of course, very similar channel. Yeah, that's basically it. So I have different variations here. And Maps SEO Romania, by the way, if you have some ideas, what you can see in the data and you want to have pointed out, please let me know. I'm happy to implement new types of notifications. Whenever I have an idea, then I include it. And of course, with tips, what to do next based on that, right? So when there is something coming up, like, of course, this spike here, then you want to do what to do next. And I'm doing custom tips based on this particular notification. For example, did you catch a trend? Is there suddenly a trend? If yes, I'm explaining here how to look that up. If yes, then probably it's a good idea to do a follow-up video on that, for example. So all these things give you opportunities to react on them, to get more of the new audience that you drive to your traffic. So far, this is basically this algorithm tab is basically done. I have the version 1.0, so to say, which I released to all users shortly. But it's always work in the progress. Certainly, what I explained to you earlier, we have the YouTube search algorithm figured out pretty much completely. So we know how to rank our videos, but we don't know so much about the home algorithm and the suggested videos algorithm. So all my work currently, or most of my work currently, goes into studying those algorithms and figuring out what can I learn about them, give tips about them. And of course, that might be a good extension to the algorithm tab, because the whole purpose of the algorithm tab is to give you information in order to trigger the different algorithms on YouTube more. So let's see where that goes. I can't say yet. But new features are coming all the time, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Apropo, dacă nu te-ai abonat încă la acest canal de YouTube, poți să faci chiar acum, poți să dai click pe linkul de abonare și apoi pe clopoțel ca să fii notificat, să primești notificări ori de câte ori facem un video nou sau avem o transmisiune live cum este cea de față. Mai avem multe videouri pe care le-am pregătit și chiar de asemenea o întrebare și o rugăminte pentru tine dacă ai preferințe, dacă ai vrea să aduc pe dacă sunt alți YouTuberi cu care ai vrea să fac o transmisiune live, scrie în comentariu și eu mă voi căuta să găsesc să fac aceste interviuri cu acești YouTuberi. We have another question here. Let me see, where was it? So Maps is asking, do you think that we should promote our videos outside of YouTube? Do you think it's going to hurt our retention?
And no, it depends on which direction you're talking about. If you're sending people from your YouTube videos outside to your blog post, for example, or something, yeah, sometimes you want to do this to gather an email list or something like that. Okay, do it sometimes. But
no. So the question is to recommend the videos to people who are not on YouTube, like for instance on Facebook.
Yes.
Or Instagram, yeah,
exactly. I just wanted to say this is coming from the other direction. So when you send people off YouTube, away from YouTube, do this sometimes, but not all the time, certainly, to be sure. But getting people from elsewhere to YouTube, this is immensely valuable. It's actually going that far that for example, everyone wants to know how to trigger the suggested videos algorithm. So your video shows up in the suggested videos and you get a lot of traffic from there. It oftentimes, there are cases where it needs a certain amount of viewers before the suggested videos algorithm kicks in and promotes the video to more viewers within YouTube. So you can actually use sharing on social media, sharing on your email list, sharing on your blog, something like that, to drive more viewers to your videos, so that this new video, ideally you would do that in the first day after publishing it already also, so your subscribers watch your video, the people who came from your blog, for example, watch the video and so on. And this way you can create a lot of momentum for your video. And if this video is really a good one, it always, YouTube evaluates the quality of the video mainly via click-through rate. Has it a good thumbnail so people click? Also audience retention. Do people watch it to the end? These are the two main factors there. If that is good and the video has a lot of momentum, I have seen again and again, even for very small channels, that suddenly the algorithms from YouTube kick in and promote the videos so much more. A factor of amount of views coming your ways on top of the momentum you created by bringing people to the platform.
I'll also pitch in my own answer to this. I'll speak in Romanian because it's easier, but basically, I'll just underline exactly what you just said. Because I had a video, I published it not this weekend, the previous weekend. I put it up online. I had, I premiered it, and then I sent some notification on my Facebook and WhatsApp. I have some people on WhatsApp, so I sent a notification there just for the premiere. Then when it launched, it had like 10 or 11, 15 people, watching it live as it was premiering. And then a couple of hours later, I went full on and I published in groups, Facebook groups and WhatsApp lists in groups that I have. And that video basically exploded. I think it got 2,000 views in 24 hours. And right now it basically just exploded on almost all of the, if you look, like in Morning Fame, you have all those, the Winners Cup, like for like 7 different categories. And that video had like out of the 7 or 8, it had a cup, like a Winners Cup for almost all of them, except 2. So it had the most views, the most likes, the most comments, the most shares, the most everything. It's just like humongous. And
which one are you talking about? Which
video? Well, if you go into my channel,
is it the Eugen C. Popa?
Yeah. The one you just watched, you just looked at earlier.
Ah, perfect.
So I mean, you can bring that one up while I'll tell this in Romanian because it's easier.
I think this one, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it this one?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Wow, this is incredible.
Yeah. Deci, ce vreau să spun, hai că să fac așa gallery review. Spre exemplu, am acel video care se numește Vrei vindecare. Asta este un răspuns pentru Maps, care întreba mai devreme dacă să promovezi sau nu video în afara YouTube-ului. Spuneam că acum 2 săptămâni am publicat acel video cu Vrei vindecare, care este o meditație de autovindecare. Și eu l-am numit Vrei vindecare. Am pus și o poză pentru că subiectul meditației era călătoria. Și de aceea este acea poză cu un drum. Am făcut, din acel video l-am făcut premieră, l-am publicat sâmbătă sau vineri pe la 4-5, pentru că la mine perioada de publicare ca vizibilitate maximă pe YouTube este între 6 și 9 și atunci tu publici videourile cu vreo 2 ore înainte de momentul de maxim, îl publici cu vreo 2 ore înainte de momentul de maxim. Și la mine este între 6 și 9. Deci am pus premiera la ora 4:30, 5, am anunțat pe net, vezi că am pun acest video și câțiva oameni s-au uitat. Când a fost premiera live, au fost vreo 10-15 oameni acolo și mai târziu pe la 6-7 seara am postat puternic în vreo 2 grupuri de WhatsApp unde sunt vreo 200-300 de oameni, apoi am postat și în grupurile de Facebook pe care le am și pe pagină și pe contul meu personal și sunt mai multe grupuri, mai multe pagini, mai multe conturi și deci am postat puternic în Facebook și în WhatsApp. Astea au fost cele două platforme pe care le-am folosit ca să promovez respectivul video. Și apoi acest video efectiv a explodat, după cum vezi aici de pe pagina lui Nic, lui Nico. Practic, video respectiv a urcat uriaș și este pe locul întâi, a avut aproape 2000 de vizualizări în 24 de ore și are aceste cupe pe care le-a pus Nico la cele mai bune videouri, din câte sunt 8, din 8 la 6 categorii a fost cel mai tare video. Cele mai multe share, cele mai multe like-uri, cele mai mulți abonați câștigați, cele mai multe vizualizări, cei mai mulți abonați care s-au uitat la acel video și așa mai departe, care a ajutat cel mai mult canalul să crească. Deci merită să promovezi, dar atenție, când faci promovarea, fă-o către un public țintă care este interesat de acel subiect. Dacă aș fi făcut un video, cum e live-ul acum cu Nic, dacă l-aș fi publicat în toate grupurile de dezvoltare personală, nu erau de interes și atunci nu mi-aș fi ajutat deloc canalul. Dar așa, pentru că activitatea mea principală este pe dezvoltare personală și terapie, atunci când am publicat, toată lumea s-a dus buluc să vadă. Deci ăsta ar fi răspunsul meu la această întrebare. Ok, I'm done with that answer, Nic.
Perfect.
All right.
I understood 3 words or so.
All right, Nico and a few others, right?
Yeah.
Dacă mai aveți întrebări, acum e momentul să îi le mai adresăm lui Nico, pentru că o să ne oprim aici în curând, dar deci dacă mai aveți întrebări, acum le puteți adresa. So let me see if we have any other questions. Maps was also asking, when is the best time to publish on YouTube?
Yeah, good question. It is not too important on YouTube. There are other platforms where it's more important. It is a good idea to think about where your audience sits and to publish early in the day, so that most of your subscribers watch the video on the first day or within the first 24 hours of your after you published your video. So it is a good idea when you have for example, Romanian audience only, but oftentimes it's worldwide, right? So, yeah. But let's say it's mostly Romanian, then you would publish early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning in Romania. And this way you can make sure that over the course of the day, everyone gets the chance to watch it, because this way you can drive the most momentum to your video. This is probably the best idea to focus on. You can, of course, drill a lot deeper into that and test different times, because there is this other aspect. Yeah, this 24 that most of your subscribers watch in the first 24 hours is primarily important if you're a larger channel, that they're at the 24-hour mark. There's a high chance that the suggested videos algorithm gets triggered based on the data it accumulated about the viewers in the first 24 hours. So if you want to make it work after this 24 hours point in time and trigger the algorithm, then this would be important. But for small channels, this effect doesn't kick in yet. The one effect that does have an importance for also small channels is that primarily the best time to upload is not important for non-subscribers. Yeah, they don't care.
So that matters
how
only
old your
for
video.
subscribers, you're saying?
Exactly. And the subscribers, as you know, they get notifications about your new uploads. And ideally, you would catch them at a point in time, especially if they get a push notification on mobile, which is the biggest part of notifications nowadays, that they get this push notification right at a point where they have time to watch the video. So, for example, lunch break, or after work, after school, for example, if you are more tailored towards a younger audience, for example.
Yeah.
So this is something worth considering, but you never know exactly when the best time is. So you have to test it out. And I have a report for that in Morning Fame as well, which you could check out, which is based on, testing different times. There's also a report in YouTube Studio nowadays that you can use for that. But I don't want to dig into that too deeply because really the best time to upload is not so important on YouTube. Like, let's say on Reddit, that's crazy important. But anyway.
Yeah.
And by the way, just segueing back into your successful video that we just discussed beforehand, I just opened up in the algorithm tab this special report just for the video, showing the traffic for all the different algorithms. And here you can clearly see what happened there. You shared your video, you got a lot of shares from your audience, and really this on the day of publish, this spiked like crazy. The same happened for home. It promoted it to your subscribers, which is a really clear sign for your active subscribers. Really job well done. Plus the black bars here are non-subscribers. So it promoted it out to even more people. Notifications worked in your favor. YouTube search started to produce traffic here. Suggested videos kicked in because of the high momentum. Subscription feed as well. You were linking your video. So this is a prime example of doing it the right way. All the algorithms, as you can see here, were kicking in because you were creating such a huge momentum thanks to bringing people to YouTube via sharing your videos on all the different.
And I think it's very important to mention also that, for instance, like you said, you publish a video, your subscribers will get notified. Then you promote it on other platforms. So people from other platforms come to your video on YouTube. And basically what YouTube sees, the algorithm sees, there's a big surge of people coming to watch that video. And therefore, YouTube would say, hey, so this is an important video. Let me promote it because it looks like there's so many people are coming to watch this video. So it's going to go and start pushing into the suggestions video, not only search.
Exactly. This is kind of, if you distance yourself from all the different differences that the algorithms have, momentum, this is also actually the official term is view velocity that many use. It is super important. The more you can create views in the very beginning after you publish your video, the better the chance is that further down the line, the video is promoted even more by YouTube's different ways, different algorithms that they have. Just a rule of thumb.
Yeah, we have another question here. Let me see. Where is that? So we have a question from Money Fishing by Marian Tokutu, and he's asking if you have certain videos made a few years back which do not generate that many views and are not done as it should be, whatever that means, should you delete those? Would that affect your channel? Thank you.
Excellent question. No, you don't need to delete those. You can, if you are unhappy about those videos, unlist them, for example. So still your links on blogs or something like that still work. Yeah, people can still watch it. Or even do it private. I think only if you unlist it, the views that it got are you keep the views that it got only if you unlist the video. So if you are interested in keeping your channel views, the total channel views, as high as they are, then better not delete them. But it's as whether you have them on your video on your channel still public or not doesn't really make a difference. You decide. But I would just say keep them on there, because who knows? They can bring you new viewers a little bit, even though they don't do much. A little bit of more viewers. Maybe there's some new fans. They watch more on your channel, subscribe, and so on. Yeah. So this is always an opportunity. Why miss that? Even if it doesn't drive much views anyway, right?
I published a video a couple of years ago, which is right now my top ranking video. And when I published, it was just a normal video, got like a few hundred views and whatnot, nothing major, nothing big. And I published it in September. And then in December, it started to grow. And then it just exploded and it kept on growing. So that was like 2 months after I published it. And now it's, I think it's closing on 500,000 views, 500,000 views.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Just, but you know, like if I would say, hey, you know, I published this two months ago and I don't have enough views, maybe I should take it down. I should put it unlisted, and I didn't. But you know, it just happened. That's a unicorn, of course. But using Morning Fame, I actually found the perfect title for it, and then put subtitles in it, put the description and everything else. And then, like I said, a couple of months later, it started to really take off and become very, very powerful.
Oh yeah, this can always happen, even for videos that don't drive much views at all beforehand. The less views they drive daily, the less likely it is that it suddenly will get boosted. Yeah. But it's always a chance. Why not take it? And actually, it's kind of let me show you an example here.
Yeah.
Here's one of my evergreen videos here in YouTube Studio. So I published it in 2018, as you can see. So it's already many years old. This spike that you see here in the beginning is, of course, my subscribers watching the video when I published it. But then it got down. Yeah, not much happened here. Yeah.
Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up your screen a little bit.
Yep.
There. That's it.
Okay. Perfect. Over time, these are all the daily views. It went up, it went up, it went up. And then for many years it worked. And then, as you can see here, sudden spikes, it can always happen. I mean, it's more likely for video like this one, which was driving on a daily basis, like close to 100 views each day, right?
Yeah.
So having those spikes here and getting more out of it is more likely for those, but it's also working for smaller videos that don't drive that much traffic. So you never know. It's kind of like a lottery ticket a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we actually had a question exactly about this topic, because somebody was, Trapper Crapper is asking, I had a video, it made 2.5 views and now it's just doing nothing, it's getting like 1 week it had 200 views per day and now it's just 100. How can I push it? What should I change to bring it back up and make more views from that video?
The best thing that you can do is improve the thumbnail. Yeah, because this is kind of the you can also change the metadata, re-optimize your video. but this doesn't have this huge effect usually as the thumbnail can have. Although re-optimizing your videos, especially back when you published it, you didn't know YouTube SEO. Yeah, that's oftentimes the case for many people. Then it's a good idea even to re-optimize the title, description, tags for this video. And then over time, it may start ranking again and driving more views again. But in this particular case, you had the video driving views for a long time already. So most likely the reason is that it was already well optimized. And so the best thing you can do in this case is to improve the thumbnail. But of course, before you decide to do that, I mean, it depends on whether you have an hour or two to create a great thumbnail once again. You might check whether this video actually was based on a certain trend that just stopped in general before now. And then, of course, it doesn't warrant any extra work to put into this video because the trend is over, right? This could be the case.
Okay, let's take one last question. Again, from Maps, he's saying, we have a question about keyword research tool. Is there any situation that we can use a keyword for one of our videos, even if one of the grades is E or lower than that?
Yeah, just to show people.
Yes, please.
So we talked about this. This is happening in the number 3 search tab of the Morning Fame keyword research tool. Here, for example, oh, this is actually good results. I'm surprised. So you enter a search term into the search bar, and these 4 grades that you see here are the competition grades. Yeah. So it tells you how competitive is the search term relative to your own channel size. So the bigger your channel is, the better the grades will become, right? Of course. Smaller channel has it more difficult to get there. And the recommendation is to get at least D, B grades here. Yeah. The E grade here is too low, unfortunately. The reason is because these videos that already rank here are really well optimized. And I think none of my own videos will rank here for this reason, although I have many SEO videos myself. No video from my channel. This is too competitive. It depends. You know, the ideal situation is really that you follow the recommendation here, that you make sure that the search term is not too competitive. Yeah. So the easiest thing, by the way, to do is if you go into the search bar suggestions, you go through the alphabet. I think Romania as a Romanian is supported as well, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Romanian. Yeah. I think that was a feature request from you or from Maps. Yes. I don't know anymore, right?
Me or Maps. Yeah, one of the two for sure.
So certainly. So you have the alphabet here and you go through them. So you see YouTube SEO algorithm, YouTube SEO basics, YouTube SEO checklist. Yeah. So a checklist here, for example, I already see a little bit. Look at that. This is already a search term that gives you much better grades. And maybe, oh, there is a video ranking.
You'd be competing against yourself.
I probably won't do another SEO checklist video soon. So, this could be an opportunity certainly here. So you tried, this was one technique to find an alternative search term, going through the alphabet like I just did. There are many more techniques which are linked in this video, by the way, the link that you see here in the footnote. So I would recommend always to rather find a search term that has the recommended grades. But if you have to go lower, it doesn't mean your chance to rank is suddenly 0. It's a matter of chances, So the more you go into worse grades, with worse grades equal higher competition, the less the chance is that you rank in the end. And if you have one E grade, this chance is still quite high, so you can give it a shot, unless, of course, you find an alternative search term that fulfills the recommendation.
Yeah.
Recommended.
I have one last question for you, Nico. And we're talking about, like the example you just gave us, YouTube SEO, whatever, something after. So if I want to be dominating at a term, would it be helpful? Would it help if I make, say, 5, 6, 10 videos, all starting with the same keyword, but then follow up by different words, of course, related to the subject? So let's say I make 5 videos about YouTube SEO because I want to rank for that. I'm not number one like yourself, right? If you go YouTube SEO, you're not going to rank for that keyword. But if you make 5 or 6 different videos related to YouTube SEO, and you're going to call them the playlist YouTube SEO, checklist, or YouTube SEO golden techniques, secret, whatever, that's going to be the name of the playlist. And then each video in the playlist is going to be YouTube SEO checklist, YouTube SEO do's and don'ts, YouTube SEO, mastery, YouTube SEO XYZ. So you make 5 or 6 different videos. Would that help you in ranking for that keyword, for that search term?
For the YouTube SEO itself, not necessarily, but the chance is there. Yeah. So this is a kind of an interesting approach here, where when we just went through the alphabet and found YouTube SEO checklist and so on, all these search terms naturally, because we started with YouTube SEO, all also contain the search term just YouTube SEO, right? So what you do is you do many videos about YouTube SEO checklist, basics, and so on, what we just found. Yeah. And they will likely rank for those longer search terms like YouTube SEO's checklist, but not for YouTube SEO. But they are still optimized for YouTube SEO. So they are considered by the search algorithm to rank for YouTube SEO as well. The only caveat is that YouTube SEO itself, the shorter search term, is very competitive. And for that reason, the video won't rank right away. However, if you manage to do a really great video, for example, for YouTube SEO checklist, and quite frankly, this particular video that is ranking for YouTube SEO checklist was quite boring. I rewatched it recently and I was bored out myself again, even though it's my own video. This was not the best one, but if I would have done a much better video about YouTube SEO checklist, it would have also ranked, of course, for YouTube SEO checklist first. But then if it has proven itself to be a really worthy video, then it might then next after the course of the next coming weeks after being published, it can climb up the ranking ladder for YouTube SEO as well. And the most important part there is in order for a video to slowly climb up the ranking ladder, is high click-through rate and high audience retention. So you have to have a good thumbnail, which is influencing the click-through rate the most, as well as, of course, a well-designed video, well-edited, entertaining, informative, depending on what video you do. And then because these longer search terms always include the shorter search terms. YouTube SEO checklist includes YouTube SEO. You have the chance to rank there, not immediately because it's too competitive, but maybe down the road if this video has proven itself to have a high click-through rate and a high audience retention, and then it can work, yes.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
If you do this whole playlist about 5 different variants of YouTube SEO checklists, basics, and so on, then you're drawing 5 lottery tickets with 5 videos, basically. And one of them is maybe really good in the end. We can't oftentimes predict it, and it makes it work.
Awesome. Nico, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here with us, for all of your amazing explanation. I learned a lot, and I'm always grateful and thankful for this.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to see you again in the near future, maybe next year, if everything works fine. I don't know if are you planning on going to Vid Summit in May or not so much?
Probably not with Corona. It's just kind of unknown, right? How it goes.
Yeah.
But the next time when vaccines are out or something like that, I probably feel more safe again. And Vid Summit would be so awesome to meet you there again. I mean,
absolutely.
Vid Summit, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you again so much for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for answering so many questions. It's been very kind of you. Dacă mai aveți întrebări, I'm sorry. Let me just say this in Romanian, and then I'll switch over to you. Dacă mai aveți întrebări legate de ce am discutat aici, scrieți-le în comentariu, o să răspundem la ele în scris după ce termin acest live. De asemenea, dacă n-ai făcut-o încă, click pe butonul de abonare și apoi pe clopoțel ca să primi notificarea ori de câte ori public un video nou sau avem un live cu un invitat ca cel din această seară. Așa că fă asta acum ca să nu uiți. Nico, any last words?
Super great. Was fun being there. Thanks for having me. I will check the comments for this live stream tomorrow and in a week, let's say. But not longer, in a week. If you watch the replay and it's less than a week old, this live stream, feel free to also leave comments in English. So I'm happy to respond to them. For all the replay watcher.
Thank you so much, Nico, and looking forward to seeing you again soon, live or online. Thank you again.
All right, see ya. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. La revedere, ne vedem în curând. Pa pa. Let me stop.